There's people on the other side, so. Let's see, Vogler Gunsmith Shop. Many of these are kind of interactive places where if you took the tour and paid for it, you would see demonstrations of, you know, people doing stuff, making candles and guns and things like that. And by the way, we're walking in Old Town Salem. Winston Salem, North Carolina. This is Fitzroy's first visit to Winston Salem, and he seems impressed so far. Seems impressed. Nice little town. I think some of these buildings are inhabited and others are not. But it's a nice little town. 1824 reconstructed building. Much of this, of course, is reconstructed. Wooden frame structures don't last in the South very long. Brick ones do. It's an old barn over there. We pointed out 1793, with some of this is probably the original building. Most of it is probably the alterations. You can see some of those wood shingles right there. And this plant here, I don't know what it is, but Sylvia has one beside her house and it's growing out of control. Very handsome. Colonial era and post-colonial, pre-antebellum South architecture. A lot of this, of course, would have dated from a time when manual labor in the South was provided by slaves. And in many places in the North, frankly, at that time, 1790s. Oh, here comes some doggos. John Vogler house. A couple dogs just passed us. That might be an original gas light right there. Or it might not be. Not as weird as it sounds. I grew up in a house with gas lighting fixtures. That's okay, probably. It's just a puddle of water. Puffy. Fitzroy's enjoying his water. We chose to give him water near this pump. The water did not come from the pump, I hastily add. You know, it's a historic area, but it's still inhabited and used. We could have just parked up there. See the number that these old tree roots and stumps have done on these brick sidewalks. Really just torn it up. Old African American, and it says strangers burial graveyard. So I don't know what that means. It's just where they buried the dead who didn't have any relatives or whatever. I don't know. Log church. Come visit the St. Philip's Moravian brick church. So they're moving up in the world. They started with a church of straw, then a church of sticks, and then a church of bricks. Okay, so I can't back up that narrative. What fascinates me about many of these historical areas is, first of all, you see these huge trees that were boundary trees and probably stood in the time of the colonists, but also these big old flagstones and things that were used as road. Perhaps they were ancient, or perhaps they were just put there in the 1930s, who knows, but always interesting to speculate how much of what you're seeing is the original. Some part of it is. Some part of it is probably added on. My eye caught something you don't see too much anymore. Stained glass window right there. We are, by the way, in the Old Salem Academy grounds. And it's out of school season, I guess. School campus may be closed for Juneteenth, I'm not sure. But it's snowing around, almost snowing. Not sure if you can see it, but in addition to that memorial, there's a very large open air amphitheater down there. It looks very nice. It's pretty cool, actually. Pretty nice campus.